Yeah, should be happening, right? I don't know, but if anyone can check it, it will be great. But still, how do I make this notification go away though? Anyway.
Save on top of mine.
All right. Well, and if you use Sublime or Atom or PyCharm or Nano or Ed or whatever you like have, then this is going to be kind of a learning curve. Like not many key bindings are going to be repeated, but believe me that in 1-2 weeks time you'll be very glad and you'll be more productive with this setup, and you will see why. I will try to address more to this kind of users because it's like more different for them. And if Emacs users also use more other ways of navigation than mine, then I want to share this too. Okay, so I will start by installing Spacemacs 1.0. Yay! Okay, so first you clone the repository, right? You clone it and you clone it and then you do that. What?
We should go with the existing Emacs user.
Yes, you should clone it into Emacs.d. So it's git clone github.com Sylvain.20. Actually, you can just Google Emacs and then just install it with installation instructions. Once you have that, it's like you will have that .emacs.d, and when you start Emacs, actually you see that my Emacs started writing that in the home buffer, right? That's because I have this Spacemacs file, which basically is a configuration file. Like in Sublime Text, you have a configuration file. In Vim, you have vimrc. In Emacs, it's .emacs or .emacs.d/initl. In Spacemacs, it's like it overrides that .emacs.d because it has to do the Spacemacs stuff. But in order to let the user still customize their Emacs, it allows the user to put their own configuration in the .spacemacs kind of thing. So it's like you don't lose anything in configurability in Spacemacs. You can also keep configuring and extending it. Okay, and that is what you have to extend is done in that user config thing. So it's like you put this stuff there. So is any Emacs user familiar with use package or package L or well, how do you install packages in Emacs?
Well, install them.
Yeah, but you have like your own configuration where you put a list of your packages and they have things.
I usually would require them.
Oh, okay.
Inet.el and then somewhere afterwards, like plug in whatever configuration stuff I needed.
All right, so
clumsy inet.el.
I know, I have that. I used to have that too. Okay, so here in Spacemacs, they use this thing called use package, which kind of like wraps the whole package installing thing and makes it go through. Like this notification really started. How can I like really say that? Everybody knows. Close to that for it. Isolate by either by this thing. Okay. Right, so where was I? Okay, so Emacs uses use package. This thing wraps the package thing. Instead of doing requires, now you configure your stuff that you want after the package has been loaded in the config part of the use package. And whatever you need to as a train thing, you do it in the init thing. But Spacemacs like hides that from you, and you just have layers, and you will see that shown. So I will start by removing my Spacemacs, and then starting Emacs, and you will see how that breaks. That should be starting. Okay. So now if I start Emacs, you'll see that it asks you the most important question in Spacemacs. Like, do you want to go among the stars aboard the Eagle flagship, or do you want to go on the planet or Emacs in the holy control tower, blah, blah, blah. So basically, Spacemacs appeals to both users. Like, Vim users use the Eagle configuration thing, and Emacs users just use the holy configuration thing, because the opposite of evil is kind of holy, right? So in this case, we're going to go with the evil part. They both install the evil package, but it's not loaded on the Emacs code, in the Emacs part. So then they ask you if you want a Spacemacs distribution or do you want a lightweight part, which is just a Spacemacs space. The Spacemacs distribution brings a 3D mode line, which is kind of like a flagship of Spacemacs, and the Spacemacs base just has the native mode line on it. So thanks to the good Wi-Fi here. Oh wait, also I already installed the package, so it just deletes the package.
Yeah, just wipe all the orphan packages.
Yep. So this is a Spacemacs. First thing is for not Emacs. I mean, for Emacs users that you have to build your own, make sense of your own window navigation things. It will be like kind of easy now because everything is under space VW. This thing is called guide key, which used to be called. I mean, I'm sorry. This is now called which key. It used to be guide key, but the guy from the Spacemacs actually thought guide key is too like it's not that good. I'm going to rewrite it and call it like which key, and it's going to be for Spacemacs. So many packages have been developed because the Spacemacs community wasn't like happy with what was in the community, which is great because now we have this kind of thing that auto discoverability for your key bindings. So if you press space VW, wait, I think it's too. Oh wait, I just need to restart this. Oh, yeah. So we deleted so many packages that we also deleted some, so that's to load some configuration. Okay, so these are the release notes. Here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I showed the Spacemacs base instead of the Spacemacs. Yeah, my mistake, sorry. Okay. The Spacemacs base is like a stripped out, like the mode line wasn't that good. Now it's fetching the real mode line.
If you're not in evil mode, is the if you press control space instead?
It's
Meta M. Yeah. For holy mode, is everything space something is meta M, and the next thing that goes away. So it's going to take some time. Okay, so the frame zooming function wasn't in the Spacemacs frame, in the base frame. And I think it's going to be here. Okay, this is called a microstate. Like, have you heard of Hydra in the image people? Yeah, Hydra is kind of like a microstate. Microstate is only for Spacemacs. So in this case, it's like I'm not pressing anything. Like the commands are space Z, F, and plus, and the space Z, F, and minus to frame out, to zoom out. But while I'm in the microstate, I can just press plus, and keep pressing plus, and it will just change like that. I don't have to do a space ZF like a lot of times. And I can save you many keystrokes, which in Emacs is like, Emacs will know that you kind of have to save those because you have more like control meta and long key bindings.
How did you get into that state?
You just press space, zoom, frame, and then plus or minus. Very mnemonic.
What is zoom frame?
Zoom frame is like increase the text size of everything in the frame.
Like so space and then what button?
Z, and then F. Okay, that's one. Okay, now if you go to the for first is let me introduce you to a Spacemacs file. This is the configuration file. It's like that what you find in Sublime with your BIMRC, but this one is in another language which is more expressive, which is Emacs Lisp. And you can see that there are lots of parentheses, and no, that's not a mistake. And there is a semicolon here, and there is not another code there, but that's just Lisp syntax. It does not leak. It's beautiful. You will love it. Trust me. Okay, you see here that there's like a layers thing. What are these layers? So in Sublime Text, if you want Python support, you install the Python package. In BIMRC, kind of as well. In Spacemacs, I mean in Emacs in general, if you want Python support, you have to install either LPy or Anaconda, and then you have to install Java, and you have to install tons of stuff that will make you go like kind of crazy. In Spacemacs, you only like say like, okay, I want to do something like Python related. So a space like file, emails, H, which is for help. It will search among all the layers. The first time is a little bit slow because it's deferred. kind of like this thing isn't loaded up until I just first call it, until I first call it. That's why it took so long. But if I did it again, it feels almost instantly. So that's why Spacemacs has like hundreds of packages loaded. I mean, hundreds of packages installed, but they are not loaded up until they are just needed. So that's why it's so fast. So if I want something with Python related, I just write where's that typo? Python, like Python, and then say I have two layers. So what these layers are like configurations for those packages, LPy, Anaconda, and whatnot, by the community. The community has the responsibility to say, okay, I want this Python development in Emacs, so I'm going to contribute with a layer or something. And then we're going to delete the existing layer to make it better, and that's what this Python layer is. So if you go to that layer, you see that documentation for it. It's in org mode, something that you will love, but it will take lots of your time, so I wouldn't suggest checking it out now. But org mode is pretty awesome. Like org mode, just like a quick fix for it, you can do so much stuff in org mode that I haven't still learned everything in org mode to do. Org mode is like a text note-taking application in Emacs.
Okay. You can consider it like Markdown, but with more additions.
It's so cool. It has like you can have Chrome extensions that call org mode and spawn emacs to do whatever you want. So it's very good. So this is the documentation for the layers that are there, and they say that installation is as simple as just put Python in the layers. So we're just going to do that. It's Python, and also I would suggest enable every other layer as default. It's very good. And then if we keep reading on it, it says that there are many things like Anaconda support. There are support for tests. There are the key bindings that you need to have here. This is Space M thing in Spacemacs is dedicated for every mode. So if you're in a mode that has space M E, and then eval last S expression, it will evaluate it there. Now, why Spacemacs is so okay? That's one of the Emacs list key bindings. Now, if we restart this, we'll see that the other layers are going to be installed as well. Oh wait, I should have Spacemacs actually has a live reloading of things. Like you don't really need to restart Emacs. I am going to show you like the next layer I have. But now it's like installing the next things, like installing auto completion for Python company mode. It's installing the Git layer, which you can use to use GitHub. I mean, to use Git inside Emacs. You don't have to use a command line again. You can do a stage for regions and stuff. That's going to show you. I'm going to show you that too. Like a couple seconds after it finishes. But okay, now I want to like focus on people that don't use Emacs or Vim or terminal editors, but use graphical editors like Sublime or like wait, what the others? Eclipse and things. Okay, so I have to let this finish there.
I just need a minute of chime in if you where your question
but I can imagine it's difficult to edit the Spacemacs file for people that didn't know.
Pay more.
Yeah, if you just went down evil mode, right? So you basically have to know Vim.
Well, if you choose at the beginning Emacs mode, then
Right.
you're basically that arrow keys work. You can do whatever, right? Except copying and pasting, which is like Control C, Control V don't work here. Like if you want to paste, it's Control Y. If you want to cut, it's Control W. So that's Emacs. I don't really. Okay, this is a lot of dimensions. Right. Now, if you want to pair program, you toggle line numbers and then you can just work with it. If the other person is an Emacs user, just change to poly mode and then now you're back to poly mode. And you can see it represented by a different change of color. It's blue now and it's Emacs state, so I have to press Control N and Control V to go back and forth. If you want to go back, then just press, I'm sorry. If you press Control C, it's not undo, it's go to holy mode. Undo here is with U. And also in space mode you get this cool feature, like it's an undo tree, in which you can have like a tree kind of like things that happen in your buffers, and you get like a diff of what changed and what didn't change. And you kind of like navigate through it with being keybinds or Emacs keybinds, whatever you prefer. Yeah, it's like having Git commits and branches, but without doing anything of the committing, just by every like couple of key presses, whatever it saves the state.
Another question. How do I open a file like in the editor, like GS?
I'm sorry?
How do I like at a file? Like if I have a file in the text, I just want to open it.
Oh yeah, that's GF. Yeah, for example, here, this file is my config, right? So I know I have a projects directory. Okay, so I just GF, and then I go to the projects and whatever thing.
So what I'm staring at is I just reopened Emacs with the new Spacemacs. And it's Spacemacs, and then there's like recent files.
Okay, those are the recent files in the home buffer. Like every file you open, they go to a recent file and recent project as well. If you want to like from anywhere in the buffer, you don't want to go to the home buffer. You press space FR, and that will take you to a recent files opened by Emacs. All of these combinations are like kind of mnemonic, and you kind of like learn them. If you don't want to, I was going to touch this first. I mean later, but
I think you should join up on the users commands.
oh yeah, okay. So you're eager to learn lots of it. Okay, so if you really want to know any command, like via key binding, you press space and derivation sign, and that lists every command given by Spacemacs. So if you want to say something, okay, I want something related to file recent. Oh wait, recent file, right? So kind of like recent files. Recent. There are the key bindings for Helm recent. This is like meta n is for holy mode and space is for like evil mode. So it says like recent f is like recent files, and Helm is this these lines, this buffer with lines that lets you search to it with fuzzy search. So everything that is prevented by Helm is going to bring this kind of buffer, like with fuzzy search and scrollability. So recent F is for recent file, and projectile recent F is for recent files in the current project. Because that's the best thing about like Emacs and projects. Like you have projectile, like that in itself is like the boost in productivity. For example, let's say I'm here in my configuration file or whatever, and I want to go to my project. If I were in Sublime, I have to go. Okay, I have to go to Lake Archive, then open project. Okay, wait, search through that things. Here just with a space P, and then there are all the projects that you have visited. Of course,
Visible.
the visited ones, yes. If you want to add another project, then you press space FF, wait, space FF, and then search through your project. And you have to like just like let's say projects, and then just click on it, enter, and then until you go to one of the projects you have. Okay,
Sorry, you said it before. What was the command for getting a list of all possible commands?
the space and question mark.
I mean, we're people used to having a menu bar on top on it. At least because that we has a nature. So we just look at all the commands we have.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Spacemacs. We can just press F. I can do that right now. Just press F. F. And then sorry, space.
Space. Okay, space.
Yeah, space. And then, that will be like your menu where like you can see, okay, I will say there, like, okay, that's file. If you say like B that says, in every letter that kind that shows the right side, you say like what is that related to? Like space B for file, space F for file.
Yeah, and so the things that are in white are actually functions that are called, but the things that are in blue are things that have more function in it. Like it's a category of function. For example, if F files is blue, that means that if you press F, then there is another submenu of other things that you can do with files, like search recent files or delete files or whatever.
Okay, do they press F right now?
And
then
you have these like helm files, open jump files, or locate or whatever, or direct jump. Like there are many things that they're all kind of related with files. And if you miss in any time, like a sidebar, you can always have it back. Oh wait, I have to go to projects, right?
The question on GitHub is how is that defining project?
Via Git directory. So if you want to meet a projectile, if you want to define a project, you either have it by CBS, CBS, or you create a .projectile MP file in the root of the directory.
And you have like add each file to that.
No. It's like the .projectile thing is just defines the global, the root of the project you have.
Any file in the directory
Every file in the directory. I think that if you check the documentation for projectile, they also have like a projectile ignore that you can ignore files like just like a JPEG one.
Okay.
So that's the way you do it.
The project probably will we ignore and this git file in that root directory and mark that, so that's quite tutorial.
Yeah, not only Git, it also works with SVN and everything. Everything CBS related, projectile is like very good with it. So that's why it's a good configuration of projectile. It's hard to get to.
Yeah.
I know this because I had to like go through a lot of pain to get my projectile set up here, but the Spacemacs it just works out of the box.
Okay.
So that's good. I was telling that when you are at Conference of Sublime, you're used to like having maybe tabs. I mean, like separate this thing because it looks cool. Like you have two files at the same time, and then you have like tabs here and full of like files that you open and you haven't seen in a while, but they're still there because you feel that you might need them, so you can close them.
Is this a public trust?
Yes, but it doesn't work well with the yet. We're like looking at it. Okay, so the tabs thing, you see that there are no tabs here. Why? Because you don't need them. Now you have the concept of buffers. If you want a file that you visited before and you open it, then you just press space B for buffers, and then when you press B again, it lists all the buffers that have already been opened, and you can just fuzzy search them. These are even the undo trees is listed. The messages is where the messages like Emacs messages show, and it's like self-explanatory actually. So let me work. If I were to work in a Python project, I install the Python layer for example. This is something I work in Canada for simulating chemical molecules with using DFT. It's like I have this Python project. Let me change it to yeah. Also, the DEM switching is fixed in Spacemacs. You have like lots of DEMs here of themes or whatever. It doesn't show very good in the projector. Okay, this is the best then. See there? It looks prettier in a Mac that has more colors and stuff. Trust me. So that if you do with space T for theme, but capital D, and then N for next. Oh wait, I should have done that. Okay, this is Monokai if you really want to go to line. I mean, if you don't really want to mess it. Okay, so let's say if you were using PyCharm, you can have this intelligence thing, but it's too heavy. But Emacs is not that heavy, and you can also have, like, for example, if I want to go to this class that I defined on this file, I just go, wait, that's not it. Okay, let's wait. How do I do that? Go to definition. Like Vim thing has this G thing to go everywhere, right? To navigation. You go G and D, and let's go to definition. Or the Spacemacs way is doing a space M and go to definition. But here you see there are many things. Like you can go to the find the references from Anaconda, or go to find assignments of this class. So there are many useful things that they are also mode specific, but for Python there is good support because Anaconda is great. Also, one tip that I should say is that space M or meta M is like too it's so used that we actually have a special key for it, which is comma. And then you press comma and G again. It's like the same thing. So whenever you find a space M, just press comma instead of that because it's easier and faster.
And that would be meta N. Yeah. Meta comma.
Meta comma. Oh no, there is another thing for it. It's control meta N for Spacemacs. For yeah, it's control meta N.
Okay.
For polymorph. Or if you really want to go to the definition, you use the go to definition from Emacs, which is meta dot. That works too.
Okay.
And you want to jump back and forth, it's control O, control I, whatever. It's like most of the things that Vim also does, right? Because yeah. Now let's say that I really wanted to like print some whatever here just before I commit, and I save it. There is an indication on the right here. You see it? That tells you that there is a new thing added to the buffer, which is let's see control versions. So if you go to this thing, which is called Magit.
That was just because you had it? Or-
No, it's not. It's there, like forever. And if I delete this and I save, that also shows that I delete thing, right there. It's just because it checks that git thing.
Oh,
So if I were to like commit this, you can see this special thing which shows what I changed. Actually, let's do more than that. Like let's copy it and paste it 10 times, and then here we see that all the changes that have happened. But let's say I'm picky and I don't want it, and I just want to commit 6 lines of it. And I just select it, commit, and then, well, actually stage it, and then I have this stage and this is not stage. So you can selectively stage by region with Magit, things that will be really hard in Git in the command line. That's why Magit is such a great tool. You can visualize the logs very easily, and then you have to see the commits. And then if you click on the commit, if you press enter on whatever part, it takes you to the file and takes you to the stat line that has it. So learning Magit could really improve your productivity when you're working in projects. And also, if you're scared, like, hey, I want to, maybe if you have, I don't have a directory structure is very deep. No, it's not that. Okay, let's say I want to go to that one. And and I'm like coming from Sublime, and I'm used to having this thing, and I will be forced to use this thing. Like, oh, I don't want to go the Emacs way. I want to go my Sublime way. One way of navigating things, which is very cool in Emacs, is just using projectile. So I want to go to this file, which is like hydrogen atom with STO3G basis. Like I just press the space, projectile or project, find file, and then I just press STO3G, and it's fuzzy complete, and then I say, oh, that's a file I want. I don't have to like go and go click and search where was that file. I just go, I project and find a file with this name, and it finds it automatically. And then you go there and that's it. Or you can do like, I remember I wanted to delete this file. I don't know its name, but I do remember that they had, let's say, a define function, like say something like, okay, I actually know what can be. Like it had a grade in there. So you can grab each file on your project that has a grade in it, like a grade word in it, and it will show you like the candidates, and also will show you the things surrounding that line. So that's pretty impressive. And the best thing is that unlike them, which will block until the grep is done, this is actually Emacs. This is not really Spacemacs. The thing is that Spacemacs does this whole configuration out of the box. That's the impressive thing. We're just leveraging the Emacs packages that are great. In this Emacs packages just grabs everything, and Emacs doesn't block because it's a GUI. It just lets the grep process keep on going. So you can be in like editing the Linux kernel, which is like thousands of lines, and it will not block. It will be very responsive. So let's say I want to go to this one, but I'm not sure. I just press tab, and it will preview it for me. So if I want to this one, oh, maybe this is the one. Tab, and it will again preview it for me. So that's kind of how you like navigate through Spacemacs better, using projectile, using the other things. The self-discoverability things. Sorry? Oh, that's Neo tree called. If during a project you do a space PT, which is space projectile with toggle Neo tree. All in all, like if you really want to learn the key bindings, is just go through the layers that you are interested in and just check the key bindings. If you want to Spacemacs related key bindings, go to the documentation, which is great. Or you can, if you want to go online, you can go online. Or you want to just read inside Emacs, you just can. Like space FEH is like one, which gives you a description of dot file variables. Below it is the toggle things, which like the goodies part. Like what you can toggle camel case motion, which is like if you in Vim you move word by word, right? Or you delete things by word, like you have these motion things. Yeah. So you can choose to motion between words in camel case. So like if you have a JavaScript variable that has camel case, and you just want to delete the first word of that big word, you know what I mean? Like if you have this is a word, so if you just want to delete this, but you want to use D and you just can do it, enable that variable and restart it. So that's kind of things go. Then after that, it's just if you're really going to Emacs, learn how to use Emacs, because everything that you learn, you can apply here. You just put it in your user configuration file, and that's it. If you want a package and you don't want to, and you don't know how to configure it, you just add it to the additional packages. These are additional packages, and then that's it. Also, there are many like goodies for layers. Like you have an XPCD layer if you want to. There is an Elixir layer. There is
LaTeX layer is very good if you want to do
yeah, that one
editing
too.
in LaTeX because you can preview the PDF in Emacs side by side.
With like preview, yeah. Yeah, that's very good. I actually use the LaTeX layer for doing my projects a lot. So Emacs can compile LaTeX and can preview PDF if you don't know, by the way. This is an Ubuntu machine, like this is a new Ubuntu machine just for this talk. But if you let me, I can show you my real machine where I have Emacs using Emacs as a window manager, which is which is pretty awesome. Right? So I can show it to you, but I will have to like not show this guy.
I think weird. Well, but yeah, you have other stuff you want to.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to go for. Or do you have any question or like you want anything special?
I have a quick question for you. When you were doing editing on files that were in Git repositories, you get the like green or red for additions and deletions on the side. What does that, like what package does that
It's a Git layer. Oh, the package
Is that from
Git Gather? No, it's Git Gather or Git Gather. It's Git Gather. There is a Git Gather and Git Gather Plus. I think we use the Plus one. I don't know. So basically, that's the point. You don't have to worry about what the package is. It's just that you just enable the Git layer. It comes by default. If you want to disable it, oh
Yeah, because I haven't seen that, and I have the Mac installed. So
okay.
or something I missed in my Spacemacs file before.
Maybe the Git layer.
I have the Git layer, so.
Maybe it's a default that it's not yet there. No, it should be there. Like the Git Gather thing should be by default there.
Interesting, but I have never seen that.
Oh, do you have any configuration that disables framing or something?
No, shouldn't.
Like,
Oh, I was asking about the
State, like the right sidebar where it shows additions and deletions to the file.
you read it right, yeah, you might have like reviews between.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well, you can also like have terminals inside Emacs. Like there's your shell, and then just like I would rather like go to my own machine and do it. Like, would you like that? Would you like
Yeah.
wait for it?
Yeah.
All right.
Do you use Tmux or?
Yeah, that's kind of like Tmux, but inside a GUI. I never use Tmux because Tmux.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys for the
Oh, yeah,
thing, if you're watching. Or if you're not.
well, from what intermediate you must, you run Spacemacs, is that one issue